Órale, Cholo Choque, los tres chingones boxing shots, all the chingones y chingonas. Okay, man. Little last minute changes here. Damn. Okay. All right. So David Contreras, he's not gonna be on with us tonight. Um, his newborn grandchild is here. So he's over there being grandpa. So shout outs to David Contreras, man. Mikey should be jumping on at some point. Um, so we'll go ahead. We'll get started until when Mikey jumps on. He'll jump on, man. What's up, Anthony? Bravo, hectic. You will. Gordo Gordito. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. David's not gonna be here, man. He's welcoming his new grandchild, man. So he's over there being abuelito. Abuelito, ¿qué hubo? All right, man. So, okay, for one, uh, Luis Neri got the victory, got a stoppage over the weekend. Congratulations to Luis Neri. Junto Nakatani got a victory on Monday. So, congratulations to him. If anybody's expecting Junto versus Monster anyway, not gonna happen. Nakatani came out and says that he wants to unify at that weight class. So I don't think we see that fight anytime this year. But let's move on to all the other fights that happened over the weekend. Some of the big news, some of the breaking news that's happened, and we'll go ahead and review a couple of fights. There's a fight that's flying way under the radar this weekend, man, and we'll get to it. But before we do that, let's go ahead and bring in. He is not Sconello. He is not Brunello. He is not Canelo. He is Mike Nelo Mercado from Mikey TV. One, Mr. Mike Zavala.
Oh man, thanks for the intro, Ed. I was fired, man. Yay!
Hey, man,
Vámonos.
David's over there being an abuelito, man. How about that?
Yeah,
Welcoming his new grandchild today.
yeah. He's got some responsibilities he's got to take care of, so we have to
Yeah.
carry the load ourselves, right?
Yeah, congratulations to him, man. Welcoming in a new grandbaby. All right.
Congrats.
Mikey, we had a stacked card over the weekend, big dog. I don't even really know where to start. I guess we'll just start with the fights that didn't last too long, man. Uh Zilang Zhang, big Chinese Zilang Zhang, Holmes. He was in the fight. He it looked like he had him for a minute at least. And I never heard of this other dude. This was the first time I seen him. What was his name? Caballel? Caballel? Something
Yeah.
like that. And dog, I like what I saw. He was definitely a heck of a lot smaller than Zilang Zhang, Mikey. And he stopped him, dog. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey man, he stopped Frank Sanchez. Cavio. I gotta look it up. If you want me to look it up, I'll look
Oh,
it up.
that's right. That's right. He did. That's right. That's right. Frank Sanchez. But Frank Sanchez, you know what? I was never sold on Sanchez though, man. I was a little bit more sold on Zilang Zhang, but he put it to him, dog.
Zhang stopped him. Zhang, I mean, dropped him. How I expected to be. Like Zhang is a power puncher. Zhang is no slouch, but he is 40 years old. And if you look at his body is wobbly, vulnerable for those big body shots. And this guy, those body shots, man. And let me just say this. Let me bring this to light real quick, Ed. Body shots are the Achilles heel for what's the heavyweight left-hander uh from the undisputed heavyweight
Usyk?
Usyk. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's Achilles heel body shots. This guy hits hard to the body, like that's his bread and butter body shots, and he is short. He's not Usyk's not fighting those big old monsters that he could maneuver and go under him. That body's there. You seen what Dubois did when he hit Usyk to the body. Yes, it looked low blow. If you look at it close, it was perfect, right on the line. And this guy does hit the body work. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Uh what do you think about this Caballel dude, man? Do you give him a shot? Do you think he can go somewhere in the heavyweight division, whether he becomes champion or just starts racking some of these dudes up?
Well, definitely, he got two good wins. I know you're not heads over heel with Sanchez, but he is a name, and Sanchez won some of the time. We believed in him that he could do something, but his lack of aggression and patience, he took too long. That Cuban style, but he that was a good name under him. And what he did to Zhang, he stopped him to the body when what Zhang was doing. He was a name, so he did a switcheroo with Zhang. Is he up there with the elites of the elites? He still got to pay his dues, man. I got to see him versus Parker. You know what I'm saying? Parker's the go to see where you're at.
Is that who you want to see him next up against Parker? Parker right now, Parker, he's on a roll, man. Parker's definitely on a roll. Is that the next fight you want to see him in?
Either Parker or even though he lost, Bukali.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. The guy who fought. Shoot. Now you got me mixed up.
he
Uh,
Bukali.
he fought Parker. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, go ahead, Ed. Go ahead.
Yeah. I like what I saw from him. The
Yeah.
fact that he got dropped, gets back up, just made it that much more exciting. Made him that much more of a Rocky moment. Um, he's a small guy for the heavyweight division today. I don't know how far he can really go. Um, I, I think he can probably only compete with big, slow guys, but guys that have bodies like Zilang Zhang, guys that they might have a little bit of pack to their punch, but they don't really move around too well. It's like a big punching bag moving around the ring, walking around the ring. I think he can work his way around that, but I don't know how far he can really go. But you know what, man? Hey, look, he got a good victory, and I do want to see him again.
Yeah, and Ed, what you said, I got a counter for that book sale style. Those guys that move, the guys that are big, he's a small guy, but the way to beat those guys that move, hit them to the body. Big guys, you chop them down to the body. That's the antidote, and he has that. Is he great? We haven't seen it yet, but so far he proved himself with these two fights. Oh man, he better start proving himself a little bit more, and then we'll start talking about it. But I get it. But those body shots that's remarkable, and that's the antidote for what I think to compete in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, Bacoli. That's him, Bacoli.
Holy,
Caballel beat Chisora years ago. Okay, okay.
okay.
Do you still want to see Zilang Zhang?
He lost, but that's not how it works. Uh, with he beat Deontay Wilder.
You talking about
Dang, I like.
Zhang?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, why not, dude? Why not? Yeah, I want to see him.
Yeah. You know what, man? Look. I'll say this. He's fun to watch. I like watching his fights. Whether he's gonna go anywhere in the heavyweight division, he's already in his 40s. Squeeze the last bit out of him, man. I think there's fun fight. Look,
Yeah,
to me, boxing, it doesn't always need to be the guy who's going after the title. Sometimes it could just be a fun fight. If you put Zilang Zhang in there against Derek Chisora, I think that's a fun fight. Does it mean anything? No, but I think it'll be entertaining. Neither guy is going anywhere. Neither guy is going to reach the top, but that's fine. Throw it on and just have it on regular zone or whatever. Have those dudes go in there and throw hands, and I'll be entertained. Neither guy's gonna go anywhere, but that's fine. It was just entertainment. So I like it, man. I like Zilan Zhang. Um, so I definitely want to see him again. But yeah, dog, his time is definitely past him.
yeah,
Hey, let's move on. Let's move on to Bacoli and Parker. So Bacoli comes in, gets there, I think pretty much the day of the fight, man. That fight does not go. I mean, good gosh, man. Hey, I'll say this though, Mikey. But Coley did look like he did buzz Parker a little bit. He did look like he got to Parker just for a split second. For as long as that fight lasted, it looked like Bacoli kind of just said, "Hey, man, Vatos Locos forever," and he knew he would. He knew if the longer the fight goes, the better it's gonna be off for Parker. He did not have any training camp. He did not have a training camp at all. He just got there and it looked like he did pretty decent at in the very beginning. How'd you see that fight?
Yeah, yeah, he was down. He was there for a high price street fight. We brought it to him, but he got hit by a great shot to the top of the temple, top of the head, and he got hurt because he was out of shape. I think if he would have been in shape, he would have had a full training camp. Although you can't see it in the outside, he's still panzon, big old stomach, but he would have been in boxing shape. I think he would have recovered, or maybe that shot wouldn't even hurt him. But he just got touch and tempo, and it caused a little distraction in the brain, and he got rocked. And the ref stopped it. Uh, I think it was a little bit too soon, but come on, dude. Guy, no training camp, 2 days, 3 days notice, just got there, jet lag. No, that's messed up. You don't want your career to end on a circumstance like this. He's a showman. He gave us a little bit, and that's all we wanted, man. And the ref stopped it because he knew that it's not fair. It wasn't fair.
Well, the corner man threw in the towel, didn't he?
Oh, the quarterback threw in the towel. Right, right, right.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. The
yeah,
corner
yeah. My bad on
and,
that one. So yeah, they stopped it
and
early.
And to the best, okay, to the best of my knowledge, anybody in the chat, let me know if I'm wrong on this one. To the best of my knowledge, Bakoli still is scheduled to fight Efe Ajagba
Yeah,
in the undercard of Canelo. So he did not lose that slot. He's still, to the best of my knowledge, he's still gonna be fighting in May against Efe Ajagba. So I mean, yeah, if I'm the corner man and I mean, jet lag, no training camp, you gave it everything you had in the first round, and that's that. And I'm thinking, okay, we still got this other fight to train for. I'm not just gonna let you just stay there and get beat up. Like for what, man? Because then if you get really beat up, if you get beat up badly, now we don't have that next fight. So yeah, throw in the towel, protect your fighter. If you couldn't get him out of there like that, which it looked like that was the plan, and it looked like it almost kind of worked. Yeah, man, throw in the towel and that's that. So I mean, I want to see Bacoli again. Obviously, he's got that fight against Efe, but somebody threw it on here, and that is the fight that I really do want to see in the heavyweight division, dog. Raider threw it out there. I want to
over.
see Zilang Zhang versus Bacoli. Both
Yep,
of these dudes with a training camp, two sumo wrestler size mofos get in there and have at it, dog. I that's the heavyweight fight I want to see, dog.
that's a good
I
fight.
want to
Yeah.
see that fight.
Oh yeah.
Uh, what do you want to see next from Parker? Should he fight Caballel? I mean, is do you think that's what Parker really wants? It's like, hey,
Nah,
come on, man.
no,
Yeah, I
Parker.
mean,
Parker's
Caballel probably wants Parker because that's a
yeah.
bigger name and a step up fight. But Parker, he's been on a roll. I don't think Parker wants to go after Caballel. What if you're in Parker's camp, like what are you aiming for?
No, no, you're going backwards if you fight. There's the low reward. What is it? Whatever that
High
cliche is.
risk, low reward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that. No, no. The boys get that. The boys fight on when he's feeling better, or get that Usyk fight. He earned that Usyk fight. Uh, so why not let Parker fight Usyk? He Parker's got the speed. He's got the IQ. He's in a row. He's like I said. He's like what is it called when you disable bombs? He's a bomb squad. He knows how to deal with power. So he can fight the boys and he knows how to deal with power. He's fought with guys, 6, 7 guys with power. I already named them last fight. It was Zhang. Uh you name them, they have power, 80%, 90% power. He knows how to fight power. Usyk's got power, but he also Parker has skill, IQ, and he deserves it, man. Those two fights for Parker, man, before he's gone. I want those two fights for my boy Parker, man.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. Yeah. I mean, if they put him in there against Caballero, whatever, man. But that's not the direction that he wants to go, man. Definitely. Uh, Dubois, yeah. I mean, once he gets healthy and everything, you guys could, make that fight happen. Because Dubois, say what you want. Anybody could say what you want, but he's on a roll too. That's why this fight was going to be badass, man. Because both of these guys were on a rampage, and it's like, damn, both of these guys, they're gonna meet in the ring, man. And both these guys are on fire right now. So, I mean, let's see what happens. I wonder if being off that fight kind of put a little bit of cold water on Dubois, man. But we'll see. Time will tell, man. Hey, Mikey. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but Shakur Stevenson, what's your thoughts on him?
Oh man, this guy's. I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. He's pillow fisted. Yeah, he's a boxer. He fought a electrician that just got there. Also, I don't know, on a 2 3 days notice, and that guy gave him a good fight. But Shakur Stevenson doesn't have the power to keep anybody with power off of him. For example, Tank. Tank will walk through one of Shakur's punches and just knock him out, man. He has no power, as you can see in this fight. He did drop him and stop that. Did it go 12 or he stopped him? I think he stopped him, right? The
He
corners.
stopped. The referee stopped. Yeah, in the ninth round, I believe it
Yeah,
was.
but no, we saw what Shakur does, man. He just hits you, moves, and he has no power. It was boring, man. I he can't beat Tank Davis, man.
That was your time to get up, go take a liquiazo, go take a masa, go grab a pisto, go fire up the grill. That was your time to go do that. That's the fight that was the least entertaining. The most entertaining probably when it comes to Shakur because there was some knockdowns. But as the card goes, not that entertaining. At the very least, what you could say for Shakur is that he stopped him. He did what he was supposed to do. But Shakur, you were supposed to stop him like in less than 5 rounds, though. You were
Yeah.
supposed to stop him in less than 5 rounds. Late replacement. Just he was a lot smaller than you. God, gosh, man. Like damn, it's rough watching a Shakur Stevenson fight, man. I tell you. Hey, let's move on, man. Carlos Adames. Hosman Shiraz, if I'm pronouncing that right. Um, a draw, Mikey? Is that what you saw? Did you see a draw? I picked the Diamonds last week. I thought
Okay.
I picked the Diamonds to win. All right. Now there's controversy on what happened there as well with Turkey Al Lashi.
Yeah.
Okay, Turkey Al Lashi going and telling them, "Hey, you're losing this fight." Okay, all right. A draw, Mikey?
I mean, Ed, that fight also, yeah, Damas landed some punches, some slap shots, but it's not like it was like, oh my God, he's whooping his ass. Uh,
Mm,
Ross broke his hand. Have you seen pictures
yeah.
on social media? He hurt his hand. I had it a draw. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see nothing special from both of those guys, man. That was just another kind of like a snoozer. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be better. Keep it a buck.
Oh,
We both
okay.
lost.
Okay. Okay. And you know what? To a certain, I agree with you partially. I partially agree with you. Was it a fun fight to watch? No, not really. I mean, I thought it was all right. I thought it was okay. I mean, the Shakur Stevenson fight kind of takes the victory for a non entertaining fight. But I thought Adamas at the end of the fight, though, Mikey, I was like, yeah, he won. He won. I'm with you, Mikey. See, this is a part where I do agree with you on. I'm with you that I didn't see anything special. I didn't
Mhm.
see Adamas like completely just beat the dog doodles out of Shiraz. I didn't see that. But I thought at the end, I was just like, yeah. He won. Nothing special. He didn't dominate the fight or anything, but I was pretty comfortable with like, yeah, Adamas won. It was mediocre fight. It was all right to watch. And it wasn't that exciting. It wasn't that boring either. It was just like whatever's. And yeah, I thought he won. When they came out with the draw, I was like, no freaking
Yeah.
way. That kind of blew me away right there. Um,
Talk about the turkey.
okay, so the Turk, I forgot what round it was in. You remember what round it was in?
I'm not sure they because they show behind the scenes like on social media. I didn't see it live. I didn't. It didn't come to mind. Like at least I
O-
didn't see it. I didn't pay attention to it.
Okay, so Turk goes up to the corner in between rounds. If anybody knows what round, let us know, man. I forgot. And he tells them, "You're losing the fight. Okay, you need to get some of these rounds." Now people are saying that there's a whole conspiracy to it. I'm kind of thinking, okay. Well, first, Mikey, I want to hear what you got to say, man. What's your thoughts on it? What's your because I got thoughts on it, but I want to hear what you have to say.
No, not we're seeing the beginning of the beginning of criminality. What's the word I'm looking for? Of crookedness. If he's doing that, oh man, we're gonna start seeing more and more stuff like this. We're gonna see scorecards. We're gonna see refs. We're at his backyard. He's calling the shots. He has some absolute power. Power corrupts. Absolute power. Power corrupts. However you say that, he's got
Mm,
absolute power, man. And absolute power corrupts. Uh, there's no one can tell him anything. He is the king in Saudi Arabia. He is controlling boxing, and pretty soon he's gonna have a monopoly in the sport of boxing. He just signed the face of boxing, Canelo. So,
mm.
man, I just hope he doesn't do Canelo dirty because now we're hearing stuff like that. I'll bring that up later, maybe when the Canelo fight gets closer or whatever. And if he did this, I mean, he did this. That's not cool, man. He's supposed to keep it clean, man.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. All right, all right, all right. So I got a few things to say. First of all, one, did he know the scorecards? Because I have not seen, read, or heard anybody actually bring that up. Everybody's just assuming that he knows the scorecards. Me as a fan, just sitting down watching the fights and in my mind saying like he's losing the fight and going and telling the fighter, "Hey, you're losing this fight." That's one thing. But did I go walk around to the judges and say, "Let me see the scorecard. Let me see your scorecard. Let me see your scorecard." Oh, you really are losing the fight. Then go tell them. Those are two different
yeah,
scenarios.
true.
So that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen, read, or heard anybody bring up the fact that Turkey knew what the scorecard was. I don't know if he did, and I don't know if he didn't. If he knew what the scorecards were, then I would say that's pretty dirty. But as of right now, I haven't seen no evidence of that. If he's just watching the fight and he thinks to himself, "Oh, he's losing the fight," right? Because he's just watching it. He doesn't know the scorecards, but to him, he's just like, he's losing this fight, and goes up to him and says, "Hey, you're losing this fight," without knowing the scorecards. I I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't. I don't. It's just somebody coming up and saying, "Hey, you're losing this fight, man. I'm sitting here, I'm watching it. This guy's getting, this guy's, beating your ass, or this guy's taking these rounds." Personally, I don't have a problem with that. If if it does come out that he went around walking around or even asked the judges, "Who do you have winning the fight? Who do you have winning the fight? Who do you have winning the fight?" Okay, now I'm gonna go tell them you're losing the fight. Then I would say, then and only then will I say, you know what, that is pretty corrupt. Unless we're gonna have open scoring, but now I would say that is pretty corrupt. But if he's just sitting back watching the fight and just thought to himself, "Man, he's losing this fight," Man, let me go give him a little pep talk. Hey, hey, you're losing the fight. I have zero issue with it. I
Yeah.
have zero issue with it.
I mean,
So
what's
that
Turkey's role in the what's his role in Saudi Arabia in this boxing thing? Is he an official? What is he? Is he just a fan? He's the one that puts in the money. When you put in the money, I think you should be as mutual as possible. So we already know he has favorites. I think he should stay relaxed and stay away, so it doesn't look from the outside looking in. Because little by little, he's starting to monopolize boxing, and if he starts doing this, it's a bad look. Although he's innocent, right? But it's still bad luck, in my opinion.
okay, all right. That no, that's a good way to look at it, Mikey. Now, when I'm saying I don't have an issue with it, it's not saying that I'm not saying that he should have done that. Should he have just set his ass down and not said anything? Yeah, personally, if I was his advisor, I'd be like, no,
Yeah,
don't go do that. Okay, don't go try to pump one fighter up and say like, hey, come on, you're losing the fight, step it up. Like, no, don't do that. You know,
yeah,
I don't advise him to do it. But if that's what he did, and I'm with you, it's like, okay, so what is his role? He's not the is he a
yeah,
promoter? Because he's got promoters. He's got Golden. He's got Golden Boy. He's got Eddie Hearn. He's got Queensberry. He's got promoters. So
yeah.
you're right, Mikey. You're right.
I
I
got.
don't even know what really his role is.
I was
So if he
listening
could
to
just
a
run up
podcast.
and just tell one fighter like, "Hey, I'm rooting for you. Now go get him." If he can do that, I mean, I don't think his title's promoter.
Yeah, yeah. So what I was listening, I don't even remember the name, but when I listened to a podcast, they're saying that he represents the Saudi Arabia, I don't know, the kingdom or whatever. He's part of the sports and entertainment, something like that. He doesn't put the bread. It's not his bread, according to it's part of the government's bread. That money, all that money he puts up and all that is not Turkey. He's the face of it. He's in charge of sports and entertainment. He's the commissioner of sports and entertainment for Saudi Arabia. So, in those lines, he's not putting in the bread. He's just the face of it. So that's what he is, from what I've heard. That he's the face of sports and entertainment in Saudi Arabia, and he's just running it. He's running it, and like I said, if he's running it, then he should be not biased. But of course, he's biased to the Middle Eastern fighter. But yeah, I don't know his role
Okay.
100%.
Raider said right here, Riyadh is the sponsor. And okay, Raider, and you're right. You're right. He okay, if he
Oh
goes and tells them you're losing by 2 rounds, okay. Maybe he knew the scorecards. Maybe he's just telling them, like, hey, you're losing by 2 rounds. Again, if there's evidence out there that he knew the scorecard and he goes and does that, yes, then I'm with everybody that's saying that's corruption. Yes. But if he just goes up to him and says, like, hey, you're losing by 2 rounds, man. You got to step it up. You got to get these next few rounds. I don't advise him to do that. I don't think he should do that. But I don't, I again, man, it's just I mean, a
yeah,
promote whether he goes to the corner or it's Eddie Hearn who's sitting in the second row, standing up and yelling like, "Come on, you're losing
yeah,
the fight! Come on!" Like it just, you know. But
yeah,
again, I've not seen or heard anything that he went to the judges. If he did, hey, I would say, yeah, that is kind of dirty, man. So, anyway, man, let's yeah. Look, I thought Adamas won. I thought Adamas won. It's a draw. I don't know, do it again, put it in another undercard, I guess. It wasn't that great of a fight, but
no,
Floyd to Tanks. Yeah, I remember. People were making that comparison. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Um, okay, Mikey, the fight of the morning, day, nighttime, whatever, whenever anybody was watching it. Colum Smith versus Joshua Buatsi, Holmes. That fight, I tell you, I don't think it's going to win fight of the year. I don't. But I think you could just kind of throw it somewhere in the mix in that, man. I thought it was a badass fight, Mikey. How say you?
Ooh, what a fight! And you called it. You called it. But guess what? And I called it too. So I'm taking the credit for that too. And nah, just kidding. But no, I said Buatsi. I checked him out. I'm like, damn, Buatsi is fire. But and I didn't believe in Colin Smith because he got stopped and destroyed by Better Beef. And I'm like, I don't think he's the same. And dude, he's a banger. And David Benachichis, I mean Benavides, you better be careful, dude. You better be careful because this guy could Colin Smith could bring it to you, and he hits harder than any fighter you ever fought at 175. Well, he only fought two fighters, but those two fighters he fought at 175, Colin Smith hits way harder. And if Colin Smith hits him, he could hurt him. You seen David get hit by a jab by a journeyman at 168, but and get dropped. But yeah, what a fight, man. Buatsi, I like the kid. I believe he's real young. He's young in the game. He's still coming up, and the lack of his experience. Colin Smith has been in the ring with Better Biev and Canelo, just to name those two. And Jesus Christ, he was countering that kid after when Buatsi was throwing those jabs. Colin Smith was just going over that jab, beautiful, and countering them, beautiful, and body shots, chopping them down. And Colin Smith got hit too, man. He almost got dropped, and he got hurt a couple of times, but they both got hurt. That's a fight of the morning, dude. What a fight! I had McDonald's coffee, I had a breakfast burrito from Rick's and McDonald's coffee, and I was getting it on, man. Jesus Christ, I love it.
Uh, do you like the egg McMuffin or the sausage McMuffin?
No, I don't. I just get the coffee. I went to Rick's. There's the place called Rick's where they sell the giant
Okay.
breakfast burritos. Nah, those little breakfasts like this. Man, I'm not paying $8.99 for a little. Nah, man, give me the giant
All right.
risotto.
Dimitro is saying that Buatsi's 32 years old.
Oh,
Um,
32. Okay,
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 okay, but I think he only had. I think that was only like his 16th or 17th fight.
okay.
So yeah, he doesn't have a lot of professional fights. Look, man, I like Colin Smith. I've been a fan of Colin Smith for a while. I thought he was gonna give Better BF a better fight, and that's not what happened. And I'm like, damn, is Colin Smith done? Colin Smith, man. I think honestly, outside of Bivol and Better BF, I think he's probably the best 175 pounder. You know what? I would even say this. I would even say that maybe he stands a chance against Bivol. Obviously, not Better BF, but against Bivol. And now I'm not saying Colin Smith will win. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he'll give Bivol a better fight than what he gave Better BF just because of the styles, right? Like Better BF went after him and he hits hard and he just started busting him up. That's not really Bivol's style, man. So I think Colin Smith stands a little bit more of a chance. But as long as Better BF is in the game, as long as maybe even Bivol is in the game, I'm not really sure what's 175 pounder can take over this division. Colin Smith, there's some fun fights you can make for him. Yes, they did throw a name. They did throw around the name David Benavides. There's some more news to get to that, and we will get to it in a minute. But let's move on, man, to your boy, my boy, Virgil Ortiz, man, against Israel Madrimov. Um, Not the banger that everybody was expecting. It was it was fun to watch, but a lot of people were like, "Man, this could be fight of the year." It fell short from that, man. It was still, it was still entertaining, but nowhere near what everybody was thinking of. What'd you make of this fight, Mikey?
Oh man, I love the fight. It was a chess match. It was a chess match, and you could compare this one to Canelo versus Lara type of fight. This is the type of fight that Virgil needed. A high IQ type of fight. If you, I don't know, we called it, but I don't know. We said it was gonna be a banger. We said it was gonna go decision. We knew Ed how Murdomov would what's Israel Murdomov, however you say his name, how he
Hmm.
fights. He feints and he gives you feints and he tries to hit you in different angles and he doesn't really exchange as you can see with the Crawford fight. And Virgil, man, he made him fight in spots. He hurt him to the body and also in the mid range. Virgil gave him some boxing lesson, used his jab, timed him. It was just an IQ type of fight, and you can see when Virgil did the swipe, he was gonna go up, but instead of going up, he went to the body. I said that Virgil's IQ is not all there, but dude, he showed high IQ. This kid is getting better. He's got Robert Garcia with him. Please, the dad. better not freaking leave Garcia ever in his life. Which his dad probably understands now that that was their worst mistake to do, to leave Robert Garcia. Jesus Christ, this kid could clean the division if he fights in the mid range verge. That's all I gotta say, man. Beautiful fight.
Uh, okay, Mikey. Let me ask you this because people are making comparisons of the face, right? They're like, hey, Terrence Crawford wasn't that beat up.
Yeah,
Virgil Ortiz, he was that beat up. Not only was he that beat up, man, but it looked like in the second round there was a little bit of blood. Second or third round there was a little bit of blood coming out of his face.
yeah. No, no. This is boxing, guys. You're gonna get hit unless you do a Terrence Crawford and don't take any chances. Why did the Terrence Crawford take any chances? Because he wants that Canelo fight. Is Terrence Crawford? If he would have took some chances, he would have got hit. And he did get hit. You look at his face. He did get hit, and he didn't take any chances. You can see Terrence Crawford taking any chances, taking a tune-up fight at 168. He wants that Canelo fight straight ahead without taking a tune-up fight. So we could dismiss that. This is boxing. You're gonna get hit. And also, yes, if you're going to continue to try to be the best at 154 and moving up to 160, Virgil, I'm talking about Virgil, he needs to sharpen up his defense. He does get hit, which I did see some good head movement and some, but Majimov is that guy. How do you train for that? He was getting hit with shots. Virgil was getting hit with shots and with the overhand shots. That overhand shot, he was getting hit. Those triple G overhand type of shots. You need to work on your defense. You need to tighten up on your defense. It wasn't a perfect A. If you have to grade his performance, it wasn't an A. It was a B performance. It wasn't an A. Why? Because his defense wasn't all there. He did get hit, but I also see some good defense. But he did get hit. And if you want to be the best at 154, fight Bakram or get the rematch with what's my boy the Ukrainian? Get the rematch. What's the
With
Ukrainian?
the Bochek.
Boyachik and all that, you got to sharpen up your defensive skills, which I did see some good defensive skills, but you do get hit with some monster shots. Robert Garcia in the corner told me, hey, whatever you do not get hit with an overhand right. Okay, yes, coach. And as soon as the bell ring, boom, Madrimov landed overhand right, which it didn't even hurt Virgil, but he got hit. Virgil's in great shape, but you got to sharpen up your defense. What you learn from this fight is you got to sharpen up your defense. Yeah, 100%, guys. He did get hit.
And not only that, but I don't think it should be just overlooked. The headbutts and the shoulder
Yeah.
that Madrimov was going, was throwing at him so much. I'm waiting for the referee to take a point away. The referee keeps saying, "There's the last time. There's the last warning. There's the last time." Guy, like, when's the last time, Holmes? Because you keep on warning this dude that this is the last time, and then, oh no, oh now this is the last time. Oh wait, so then this time's the last time. Like,
Yeah.
guy, what's going on here, man? Because Madrimov was throwing his head around. He did, hit him with the shoulder like once or twice. It's like, yeah, okay, ref, what are you doing? You're just warning this dude. I was waiting for a point to come off, but never happened. And by the way, Madrimov. Okay, so now there's excuses going on that he was sick. Okay, look, a few things. Okay, is it believable? Well, two fighters fell off because they were sick. Okay, maybe. However, I was watching an interview with Virgil Ortiz earlier today, and he said something, and it was right. Madrimov, like for the first 4 rounds, this dude was just jumping all over the place. And if you're sick, you're not going to be trying to spend that much energy. This guy was just
Yep.
like for the first 3, 4 rounds, just jumping around, moving around. It's like, guy, what are you doing? You're like spending so much energy. And when I saw that, after the third round, I'm like, okay, he can't keep this up. He cannot do this all round. Oh, I'm sorry, all fight. I mean, you got a few rounds in you that you could be jumping around like that and be moving like that, but you're not gonna be doing that the entire fight. And he ran out of gas. He
Mhm.
ran out of gas, and now you're saying that, oh, I was sick. No, you weren't sick. You just used up all your gas tank, homie, and that's on you. So I mean, Madrimov, do I want to see him again? Yeah, I do want to see him again. But Virgil, man, that's where it's at. In that interview that I saw him today, he said that he's not looking to move up to 160, at least not right now. He still wants to be at 154. A couple of names out there that he mentioned. One of them was Sebastian Fundora, and I'm telling you guys right now, I think he kills Fundora. I think he knocks Fundora out, man. But yeah, man, I think Virgil can be the top dog at 154. I do. I think there's some. I'm not saying hands down. We got homeboy that beat Tim Zoo. What's his name?
Bakram?
No, 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 no. Man, all these Eastern Europeans, man, with these,
It's not
you
Bakram?
know,
I swear. I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
some no, Matazaliev, Matazaliev,
Altazalium.
Matazaliev. Yeah, I was talking to somebody earlier today. I was talking to my boy Pete Town, right? And I'm like, yeah, you know what, man? This is Virgil's back-to-back fight against some hard hitters.
Yeah.
I don't know if he should get into the ring with another hard hitter. I'm not saying he should take a tomato can, but he doesn't need be in there with another hard slugger right away, like
Yeah.
right now. You know
That's
what
what I
I
was
mean? Yeah, yeah. Like a Sebastian Fundora, that's cool, but Sebastian Fundora is not like a super duper hard slugger. But three back-to-back fights with some just hard punching sluggers, like, nah, man, you might want to pump the brakes and get yourself somebody who's a little bit more of a pillow fist guy that doesn't have breaking bone power, man. Three fights back to back to back like that. So,
yeah.
but yeah, man, Virgil still my favorite fighter, man.
Yeah, yeah, Bakram Mortazaliev. So
Okay,
so yeah,
Bakram.
you know what, Ed, I agree with you. He should fight Fundora. Fundora has two belts, right?
Yeah, he's got
Fundora,
two belts.
and then Bakram has a belt. No, does he have a belt? No, he doesn't have a belt. Does he? Yeah, he has a belt. Bakram has,
Uh, I don't know if he does or doesn't.
I
Tim
think he has,
Zoo had the belt, but Sebastian Fundora beat him.
but didn't Bakram have a belt from somewhere else? Because Terrence Crawford has another belt.
Crawford has a belt. Yes, yes.
So he
Technically,
doesn't
he's
have a
still a
belt.
champion.
Oh man, I was gonna say he should fight Fundora and get the belts for Fundora and then unify with Bakram. But I don't even know if Bakram has a freaking belt. Now that I think of,
Virgil needs to against Yorioki's Gamboa, dog.
yeah, yeah, that's the
Well,
guy.
hey man, definitely want to see Virgil Ortiz. Hopefully fight at least two more times this year. What's up with Cholo's boy, Eggs Benedict? Oh, come on, man. I talked about it earlier this week. Come on, man. What? My boy Connor Ben. Hey, Mikey, let's go ahead. Let, let's uh let's get to the main event, man. Bivol versus Better BF, because we still gotta talk about the fights that are coming up this weekend. Bivol versus Better BF. Um, Close fight. Bivol gets it. What did you see?
Close fight again. Bivol took more calculated risks. I seen it. It was close again, Ed. It was close again, and I had better be of winning. Believe it or not. And I know people are gonna say, "Oh no, this time it was so close, guys. It was so many toss up rounds." And then I said, if Bivol wins the 11th, which he did, if he wins the 12th, for sure, like there's no ifs and buts about it. There's no doubt that there shouldn't be a third fight. But better be if won the 12th, he almost dropped him. He almost hurt him. He almost stopped him. But what a heart from Bivol. What technician showed he did take the better be his punch, and he did show uh more aggression, and he hit him with clean punches. I give it to better be to Bivol. I'm not mad at it. Do I want to see the third fight? It's gonna be the same. Let's give Benavides a chance to fight Bivol. Then we'll get the third one, or Canelo, and then we'll get the third one. Yeah,
Okay, okay. So there's a lot of drama going on all over this. Not so much with the decision, but with what needs to take place, the pieces of the puzzle. Okay, so as far as the fight goes, the first fight, it was so close. I could have had it like a draw. This fight right here was so close. I could have had it like a draw. I mean, the first fight, if they gave it to Bivol, I wouldn't have been mad. This fight, if they gave it to Better BF, I wouldn't have been mad. If both fights were draws, it's like you gotta split hairs to pick a winner for this fight. So should there be a third one? Yeah, I guess so. But here's the thing. Okay, so there's a lot of drama going on here. So um the IBF, two sanctioning bodies here, the IBF and the WBC. Okay, so the IBF was next to throw on their mandatory. And the WBC came out and said, like, hey, well, we're throwing in our mandatory. So now, whomever, the way it looks like right now, if one of the sanctioning bodies changes their tune, they change their tune. But the way it looks like right now, whomever Bivol fight. Oh, and by the way, Better BF. Okay, so this is where all the drama comes in. Better BF is taking time off of boxing because he's Muslim and they do the Ramadan. I think if I'm pronouncing that right, the Ramadan, whatever they're
Yeah.
what they do. I don't know, dog, but he's taking time away from boxing. Okay, so the IBF and the WBC, even though the IBF they're in line to throw in their mandatory, the WBC came in and said, "Well, we're going to throw in our mandatory," making it clear, like I said, unless they change their tune, making it clear that whoever Bivol fights next, if he satisfies his mandatory with the IBF, the WBC strips him. If he satisfies his mandatory with the WBC, the IBF is going to strip him. So there's no winning with Bivol here. So if he goes and he fights, I think Benavides is the mandatory for the WBC, while the IBF has some German dude I've never heard of.
Yeah.
But as soon as that bell rings, whomever he fights, he is getting stripped of one of those belts. So I would say the way to go is satisfy one of your mandatories, have Better BF when he comes back from his Muslim holiday, or ritual, whatever. I don't know what it is, but have him go after the belt or fight for the belt that was stripped, and then have the third fight. Maybe at the end of the year or in the beginning of next year. Again, I don't know how long that holiday or anything is. But yeah, man, it doesn't look like Bivol is going to stay unified with all four belts. It looks as soon as he takes another fight, he will be stripped of one of the belts. So yeah, it could be Benavides, man. It could be Benavides, but at the same time, from what it looks like, Mikey, I'm not so sure Benavides is even really looking for that fight. It almost kind of looks like he's mentioning Colin Smith a lot more. He's not really. I don't think he really wants that, man.
Yeah, he don't want the smoke, man. He's mandatory again. He's the number one contender again. And just like what he did with Canelo, when people still want to talk about it, want to fight about it, he could have been Canelo's mandatory. He just had to throw in his paperwork for the WBC, and he didn't. He got an extension, and he moved up to 175. He's once again, he's the mandatory for the WBC, and now he's talking about fighting Zurdo and not fighting his mandatory, which is Bivol. Bivol will chop him down. Bivol will give him a boxing lesson, and he's gonna get exposed. And there's a rumor right now that in the Joe Rogan podcast, they said that they sparred together and that Bivol dropped Benavides with a jab. So Benavides was at the fight at the Bivol versus Beterbiev Part 2 fight in Saudi Arabia, and he left during the main fight. During the fight, he left.
Yes.
So that's an indicator he doesn't want the smoke, guys. Ed, he doesn't want that smoke. He's talking about moving up to 175. So we can't take this guy serious. But let me talk about how Bivol's move should be. Bivol should do his IBF mandatory because IBF doesn't play; they'll strip you. And the WBC, I don't even think you should take them serious. When have they stripped somebody? They had Charlo in hiatus for 3 years and didn't do anything. So the IBF doesn't play. So if you want to keep your belts, fight the IBF mandatory, which is going to be a boring German fighter. And then the WBC just tell them, yeah, next fight, and just have them guessing. But I don't think Benavides wants to fight him. We'll see. And the pressure's on right now to fight Bivol.
Yeah, I don't see that fight happening. I don't think
Oh
Benavides
my
wants
God.
it. Okay, okay. What you said about the Joe Rogan podcast, that guy, he
Uh-huh.
came out just recently and said, "Oh, you know what? I was confused. It was Benavides that dropped Bivol. I don't know
What?
if you saw that. Yeah, yeah.
No
It's
way.
what's his act? What's the actor's name? Peter something.
I forgot. I
He
gotta
he
look it
came
up.
he just came out and said, you know what? I don't know why I worded it wrong. I don't know how I remembered it wrong, but no, it was Benavides that dropped Pivot.
Wow.
That's his words. He came back and said, I don't know why I remembered it wrong, but no, it was Benavides that dropped Pivot. So now I'm not really sure what the heck to believe with this dude. But I will say that people don't know this. Before the main event started, Benavides got up and he left. He said he had a plane to catch. Dog, he got there on Friday. He got there on Friday. You don't make the plans to stay there. So he stood there for the card, but he had to go catch a plane before the main event started. Like he doesn't want it. He does not want that fight, and that fight's not good. I don't see it happening. I'll be surprised if it happens. I don't see it happening. I really don't. He either moves up to cruiserweight or he fights Colin Smith, which that's not a bad fight either. I'm not against that fight. Benavides versus Colin Smith, I'm in all day, Holmes.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but yeah, as of right now, Better Biev, he's gonna be out for the Muslim holiday, whatever it is, man. But anyway, man, um, let's get to some fights tomorrow. We're starting to run low on time. For one, just a fight that's flying way, way, way under the radar that nobody's mentioning and nobody even really knows that's going on. Subriel Matias fights tomorrow. He's fighting against Gabriel Valenzuela. Um, it's a 12-round fight. I think Subriel Matias takes this fight, man. But Mikey, you got any thoughts on this?
That went under the radar for me. I just seen the
Yeah,
weigh in. Like, oh, he's fighting, and I didn't. Yeah, it went under the
yeah,
radar.
yeah. It's way under the radar, man. All right, so let's get to the PBC side of things, man. There's actually not bad of a card, man. Jared Hurd's on here. Banana Williams is on here. It's not bad of a card, man. What's his name? Santino. How do you pronounce his name?
Sandra Martin. Sandra
Sandal
Martin.
Martin. Sandal Martin's in the co-main event. But let's focus on two fights, Mikey. Rayo Valenzuela is in a 12 rounder against Antoine Russell. What do you make about this, man? I don't think this is a gimme fight for Rayo, dog.
No, bro. Man, Antoine Russell's 18 fights, 18 knockouts. But with who? Who did he fight? So yeah, I looked at his fights, his record. He has Postol. I don't know what Postol it is. Maybe the older Postol, but he is a couple fights, a few fights back. But dude, I like his skill. I seen his highlight. I like how his inside work. He's a dirty fighter, dirty boxing. He bangs to the body. He has power. He's a southpaw. The last time Rayo fought a southpaw with power was De Los Santos, and then after that, he hasn't fought a southpaw. It's been three to four fights that he hasn't fought a southpaw, and what if he starts getting flashbacks of that power, that southpaw power? Yeah, Russell solid. But this isn't the Rayo that was training with Benavides Senior. This is the skilled Rayo, the IQ Rayo, the foot speed, footwork, the boxer technician Rayo, as we can see versus the Pitbull fight, the Robert Garcia improved fighter Rayo. So I believe in Rayo's skills, but Rayo needs to box, give him angles, and fight, give him some firepower when you in spots, just like how Virgil did. He didn't go straight to war, right? War, he invested to the body, and then boom, 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 and then went in the mid range and started working. That's what Ryo needs to do. And in his interviews, he's saying that I'm gonna give him a little bit of boxing, but also I'm giving him a little bit of that power. And if he does that, I think he has enough skills and his corner, Robert Garcia, to beat Antoine Russell. Sorry.
Well, Mikey, let me ask you this: what about all the drama that's going on with him and the corner? What about him and Jose Benavides not being with Jose anymore? I mean, does that have any effect on this young kid?
I mean, it could have an effect, but you need a great corner to bring you back to reality to snap you back. And Robert Garcia is the best. He's trainer of the year for a reason, right? Yeah, it can be just like Tank, right? Tank's not taking this fight seriously, and anything could happen. This is boxing. Anything could happen. He could get rocked. This guy has 100% knockout ratio. I'm talking about Russell. So yeah, Ed, you have a point, but I believe in Robert Garcia, man, to keep him focused.
I like Rayo. Um, Pictures, the image still stands in my mind. I was there live when he got stopped by the Los Santos, you know. But he looks good, man. He looks good. It looks like he's maturing. It looks like his body's starting to grow a little bit more. It looks like starting to get into a little bit more in his man strength. Um, this fight's gonna tell me a lot more about him. It really is. I liked him against Pitbull Cruz. I give up Pitbull Cruz, man. He's more of a 140 pounder. I'm sorry, 135 pounder. And even for 135, he's a small dude, you know?
Yeah.
Um, the only reason why he was at 140 because he fought Rolly Romero, man. But uh, I was like, okay, all right, cool, Rayo. But now let's see what's up, man. Now let's see what's up. So this is definitely gonna tell me a lot about Rayo, and I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for the kid, man. I'm just not sure if did he bite off more than he can chew on this one.
Yeah.
So I think this could probably steal the fight of the night, man. Mikey, Tank Davis
Okay.
versus Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach moving up from 130 to 135. That's nothing new in a Tank Davis fight. Um, I've been watching like the press conferences and stuff like that, and it's been pretty lackluster, man. There hasn't been a lot of people showing up to this thing, but what's your thoughts about this fight?
I mean, it's a little guy with no power getting brought up to Tank. A 130 moved up to 135, right? Uh,
Mm.
Tank's former sparring partner. Does he know Tank? Maybe, I don't know. Uh, but the only thing I say that can happen if Tank is not didn't train right, Tank's not focused, and because he's all over the place. And he didn't respect his opponent, and anything could happen, as you can see with Mungia, right? As you can see with Mungia, he got stopped with a guy that we never would have thought that would have stopped him. A guy with no power, a guy that we never heard before, a guy that yeah. So that could happen. Anything could happen in boxing. Anything could happen. But come on, man, Tank for the knockout. Tank's gonna destroy this guy.
Okay, okay. I agree with you but there's this one thing that's swirling around in my mind,
Yeah.
and that is as soon as a fighter mentions retirement, they're already like halfway out. And not only that, Mikey, but Tank, his body language. Now he's never had like a vibrant, alive body language, but his body language, man, for this, he seems so uninterested. He seems like he's just like, man, let's just kind of get this over with. He seems like I don't really want to be here. He just, I don't know, man. There's something about his body language which actually honestly, man, it kind of interests me in this fight a little bit more to see, okay, are we gonna see Tank Davis that we're used to seeing, or is something going on? He already mentioned retirement, which we all know once a fighter mentions that, they're already halfway out. And not only that, dog, but I'm actually starting to see it like in his body. Like I'm not I like I said, he's never been this electrifying personality, but even with that, I'm still seeing him like very reserved, just kind of like I like he's not interested. So what that does interest me more in this fight. So I mean, Mikey, could it be that he since he mentioned retirement, that could it be that he's just not engaged?
I mean, it could probably be. It could be that. I mean, you're not fighting no one. Yeah, it's just another gimme fight, and subconscious he's checking out, and that's real dangerous in boxing. you could get hurt. So yeah, it could be. That's the only chance his opponent has. That's the only chance he has. Rumor is that Turkey Sheik's gonna show up to the fight. I don't know if you heard that. Maybe that could get him excited. I don't know. Yeah, that Turkey
I
Sheik's
didn't
gonna.
know that. I didn't hear
That's
that
what I
rumor.
heard. I don't know. Like he's gonna be ringside. Maybe that could bring him back because he's gonna bring the bag. So
That would be good, man. Yeah, you know what? If I still had to pick a winner, I would say Tank Davis by knockout. You're bringing up a smaller guy. A smaller guy doesn't really have much power. Just it's knockout time. $80,
no,
eighty
I don't know.
dollars for this pay per view, man. Now, there's very, very, very few fights that are worth $80, man. And this definitely is not one of them. This actually, let me go ahead and tell everybody this, man. Okay, this actually isn't a bad card. It's not. This actually looks like a pretty fun card to watch, but not $80. If it's already behind a paywall. Amazon Prime. It's already behind a paywall. Just have it on Amazon Prime. It's already behind a paywall. It's a pretty fun card, man. I look at the matchups. I look at the lineups. It's like, okay, it's yeah, man. It looks pretty fun. I don't have a problem with Tank fighting the Frank Martins, fighting the Lamont Roaches, fighting the bringing up Luis Garcia. That's fine. Those are fun little fights, but not pay per view worthy fights.
Exactly.
Those aren't 80 freaking dollar fights. That's the issue that I have. If this is the career that he wants to have, which, all right, fine, go ahead, have this career. But they're not pay per view worthy fights. They're not $80 fights, man. Go ahead, fight these kind of fights. Cool. Just have it behind this paywall on Amazon Prime. But $80? The heck are you doing? And it's a fun little card, man. It's a fun little card. So, um, you know, oh well, man, $80. But all right, we'll see. We'll see what's up with that. Hey, Mikey, I want to ask you this, man. The big card that we had in Riyadh season. Did you like it? Were you down with it? Do you have any complaints about it?
No, no. I let me see. I gotta really think about it. If I have to think about it, there's no complaints. Just don't put that stupid freaking what's his name? The boring what's his name? Southpaw.
Shakur?
Don't put Shakur in the middle. Put him in the beginning, or don't even put him at all. That guy's he's not TV. Don't try to force us. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. He's not marketable. I'm sorry.
Yo,
Yeah, that's my
what one of the first fights on that card was Buatsi and Smith, Holmes. I was like, oh come on, man. All right, so look, uh earlier this week I put who really won between Better BF Bivol or a draw. We had 29 votes. Coming at the lowest with 14% was a draw. Coming in second with 17% was Better BF. And most people at 69% thought Bivol won. I dropped another post earlier this week. Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach this Saturday, $80 pay per view. Will you pay for it? We only got 13 people to vote on this one. I did drop it like yesterday. Um, Coming in at last with 0% is yes, 8% got maybe, and 92% said F no.
God.
So, yeah, man, I will say this about the card, about Riyadh season before we wrap it up, about that card. You know what, Holmes? I appreciate the fights, but in reality, just give me four good fights. We don't need 7 hours, man. Like it's 7 hours of boxing, and just give me four good fights, man. Split them up. Split them up. Pick some of those fights out and just say, okay, you know what? in 2 months we're gonna have these fights over here. But having all those fights, having it go 7 hours, having it go so long, I'm just kind of like, man, you know what? Just give me four good fights, and I'm happy with that, man. I'm happy with that. The fact that it's so long that it takes up the entire day, it's just like, damn, man. It's time consuming, dog. It's time consuming. So that's the only thing I would say. That's the
Maybe
only thing I would say. Get
the fans, it's not the same. If you now you got me thinking it, the fans aren't the same as in Vegas and all that. They weren't really that crazy. Maybe that, but yeah,
that's another thing. Hey, Raider, first of all, I agree with you, man. Tomorrow's fight is definitely an $80 pay-per-view fight if it came with an automatic 75 discount. What's up, Vince? Yeah, yeah, you know what? That's another thing. And I told you and I told David this when I text you guys. I'm just not digging the fan base out there in Saudi.
yeah,
I'm just not. Is anybody on the chat? Does anybody else notice that? I'm not digging that fan base out there, man. And it's not me complaining about like, oh, the time difference. No, Charlie, because when they have it in the UK, I can't complain, dog. Those fans are wild.
yeah,
Those fans are rowdy. But in Saudi Arabia, dog, I've yet to be wowed by the fan base. It's just it's a little dead. There's a lot of empty seats. Um, I'm just like, okay, oh, okay, now it's filled up, but it's
yeah,
quiet. There's not a lot. It's just kind of like, come on, man. Do I like the time difference? No. I'll be the first to tell everybody. No, I don't. I want all the fights here in the good old US of A, baby, right? But when it does happen in the UK, I can't complain about the fan base. I understand because I'm like, they're crazy over there. They let it be known. They're wild. They filled up the arena. They're chanting, hollering, playing their freaking drums, whatever the heck they do over there. But they are in it. And Saudi, homie, is just kind of like, the fight better be exciting because the fans aren't gonna get into it.
yeah, yeah,
So, you
yeah,
know, they're different, like the Japanese, quiet crowds. Yeah, man, it's a boring atmosphere. Yeah, it's a boring atmosphere, man. It just, I don't like it for an event and for 7 hours. Like, just give us four good fights. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. We don't need to stretch it out so long, man. But with that, oh, and breaking news just came down to everybody. Mikey, I'll give you your final thoughts, man, before we wrap this up. Breaking news just came down today. So we all know that the Turk, he's doing an event outdoors in Madison Square Garden in New York. Headlining that fight is Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. Co-main event is Devin Haney against Jose Ramirez, and
yes.
just added to that card, Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barbosa. Your thoughts, Mikey?
I like it. I like it. That was the icing on the cake. That was the icing on the cake. Uh, yeah, the Tio versus Barbosa. Barbosa got a belt. He made himself a little bit more marketable, and he is improving. Although I don't really like him, but I like him in this fight. He's been calling Teofimo out, and now the calling it looks better because he has a belt. Right? He picked up a belt, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, it makes it more delicious, right? So yeah, I like those three fights, and they all can mix. Whoever wins can whatever mix and match, right? So I like it.
yeah. And if you guys want to go to New York, it's for free. The fight, it
Nice.
is for free. You will be there. They're not charging to get in. Now there's gonna be a capacity. So once it's filled, it's filled. But it is free to get in there. Now it will be pay-per-view if you want to watch it. But again, it's gonna be like $25. But to go watch it, to be there, it's outdoors. It's for free. They're not charging tickets. So I think you might have to register online. I don't think they're just gonna have a crowd just waiting outside. I think you're probably gonna have to register online. That's what I'm assuming. But yeah, it is outdoor and it is for free to go watch the fight. And I'm just assuming that you're gonna have to register online. and that's how you could get in. And it'll be pay per view for the rest of us. It's a fun card. I like it. It is the biggest fight in history. Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. I'm honest, man. I'm excited for that fight. I really am, dog.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm
gonna be
truly
good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm really excited for that fight. And I'm just calling out Teofimo Lopez, man. You know what? I'm proud of you, big dog. I'm proud of you that you're taking this fight because when I saw that in person, homie,
Oh, you said he
you
was scared.
look scared. Dog, he looked so scared of Barbosa. I was like, damn. Like, Teo, I don't know what it is, brother, but you look scared, man. So go in there and whoop his ass. Go in there and whoop his ass, man.
Hey,
So
I think I would be scared too. You're rolling with some thugs from from El Monte. I'll be scared too, man. He's not dumb. He was rolling deep. My
I,
boy goes deep. I'll be scared too, man.
Okay, 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 Mikey. Yes, I'm with you, but you don't show it though. But you don't show the fear. It was bleeding. The fear was
Yeah, was that
bleeding
bad?
all over him.
Was that bad? Okay.
God, he looked so. He was just putting his
Well, he's
like
gonna
that.
see him in the ring.
He was down, like looking, like are they still looking at me? Like oh damn, like okay. Fear is definitely a part of life, but brother, do not show it. Do not show it. I get it. Your body is the way you make your money, your millions, and everything. It's best not to get in a physical altercation. If you're not in the ring, understood. But there's certain ways to hold your ground. There's certain way. I'm not saying stand there and say I'll take on all you mofos. That's not what I'm saying. That would be foolish. Okay, and all the street mofos out there that saying like, oh, he should have done that. You're not thinking rationally, okay? He's a prize fighter, all right? But there's certain ways to avoid things, but you do not look scared about it. It just gosh, it looked horrible, dog. It looked
Okay,
horrible,
not bad.
but anyway, man. Anyway, anyway, I'm glad that fight's happening. That you know
Yeah.
what, Mike? That's the only fight that I'm interested in that has Arnold Barbosa in it.
Yeah.
Uh, that's it, man.
He
All
earned it.
right.
I don't know about Bosa earned his keep, man. He did go get a belt, and he did force him to fight him. Now I got a belt, so I like that about Barbosa. I respect him now because he was all talk in the beginning, but he did the groundwork a little bit, and now he's got a belt and he's gonna fight Teal. So he got what he wanted. Is he really got the skill to? Teal's gonna give him a boxing lesson. With Reynoso, oh come on, man. You're gonna see Barbosa like this. You're like, you know what? And you're gonna give that speech that that he has fear because he's got Team Canelo behind him. Right here, baby. Right here. Right here. Vámonos. Yeah.
All right, man. We are out of here. Damn, that was a lot of fights to talk about, though. I really had to get into my think tank, homie. That's why I didn't drink. But I'm gonna be drinking a couple of beers tomorrow, watching the Subriel Matias fight. I'll check out the Tank Davis fight, man. But especially Rayo. Rayo's the
Oh, that
one I
Rayo
really want
fight's
to
gonna
see.
be fire, dude. That is
That's the one I want to see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Let's see if I tap in afterwards with you guys, man, and talk a little boxing with a little buzz going on. All right. Hey, man, that is Mike Zavala from Mikey TV, Cholo Trucker. We give our saludos to our brother, man, David Contreras, who is welcoming in his new grandbaby. So saludos to you, man. You guys enjoy the fights over the weekend. Whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing so we can come back and do it again. Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Catch you guys on next round.